Hello, everyone! So did Boom actually give a strike to the Garry's Mode creator? And what new leaks for the upcoming 77th episode came out just now? And good morning to you, by the way. Today's video is going to be one of the craziest I've ever made on this channel, so get ready to have some real good time. What's happening with Boom and the original creator of Garry's Mode in Steam, and how it's connected to both the Skibidi toilet movie and the original Half-Life assets? Will this whole situation change the YouTube Skibidi series or not? And what new leaks came out just recently about the first part of the upcoming 77th episode, and which details you certainly missed in them? So if you want to know all the answers to these questions, then get your tea and snacks ready, and prepare to watch this video to the end, because I saved the exclusive info about those leaks for later, and you won't find it anywhere else but on my channel. Now let's go! So barely a few days have passed since the last time I told you some surprising Skibidi news from the outside world. And just now we've got even more of them, and let me tell you that the news I'm going to discuss with you today is even crazier than that Skibidi movie thing. Okay, so let's start with the hottest topic I have for you today. And it's the sudden and very mind-boggling incident that happened between Boom and the creator of Garry's Mode, Garry Newman, a few days ago. So everything started with Mr. Newman posting a very specific message in his Twitter account where he stated that he just received a DMCA notice from someone who is allegedly selling themselves as Boom, the creator of Skibidi toilets. And the point of this DMCA was that Garry Newman was using the assets of Boom's Skibidi toilet models for his Garry's Mode game, and to say that it was an insane claim would be a total understatement. And in case you was born yesterday and don't really know what all this fuss is truly about, let me tell you a few very important things. First of all, Boom started making his animations in the first place while using Garry's Mode assets, as they were free, really versatile, and extremely easy to put together. And it counted not only faces or body models, but also pieces of environment and the whole maps. In its turn, the majority of assets that Boom used were also based on the original Valve's assets, and the Valve is the company which produced the legendary Half-Life series. And I think it should be pretty obvious to anyone that Boom was directly inspired by Half-Life in his Skibidi toilet series. And the influence of such inspiration is immense not only for the Skibidi toilet visuals and animations, but also for the whole plot of the series. I mean, bro, we have literal G-Man in here, which is also called G-Man. And the secret agent is also a character that was simply based on Half-Life G-Man. And let me also tell you that this whole intellectual property discourse was always quite the stumbling block for Boom and other Skibidi toilet creators. Do you remember how recently all the animators that have their own Skibidi multiverses started showing Boom's name in the beginning of all of their new multiverse episodes? So they had to do it exactly due to Boom's requirements, as the multiverse creators kind of used his Skibidi toilet concept and visual assets, although they were still creating their own thing. This thing is really strict on YouTube platform, and I'm telling you all this so that you realized how tricky this stuff with strikes and DMCAs in reality is. So when something like this happens, it's a really big freaking deal. So just the ordinary strikes are already enough to be scared about, but what about DMCA, which is applied towards the actual freaking owner of the assets that Skibidi Toilet series use? So of course, when Garry Newman basically posted the DMCA, it created huge explosion in the news titles. And of course, lots of people were really mad at Boom for allegedly doing something like that. I mean, just imagine striking Joanne Rowling for using Harry Potter characters from your fan fiction, while she's in fact the original creator of the books all Harry Potter fan fiction is based on. So yeah, that was pretty ridiculous. But thankfully, just when this news came out, lots of people also started asking one really important question. Was this really Boom who actually applied DMCA against Garry Newman? Like, how could a creator of such massive internet phenomenon as Skibidi toilets be so blindfolded about the possible consequences of doing something like this? So surely people started writing how suspicious or just unbelievable this whole act presumably was, and how they really doubted that it was the original Boom who was behind all of this. Because once again, when you're such a big figure on YouTube, you know exactly what's up and why this whole DMCA thing is so easy, but also dangerous to overuse. And no creator is safe from that. So self-aware content creators know about the possible consequences of throwing DMCAs to everybody, and simply don't use such tactics. And let's also not forget about the most important and extremely obvious thing. It's the freaking creator of Garry's Mode, the game that basically gave birth to so many YouTube animations, Skibidi toilets included. And if Garry Newman wanted to actually erase all these things that used his assets directly, He could easily do so, but of course, it never happened. Because Garry's mode community is really wholesome. And even Boom himself stated in so many interviews how grateful he is towards this community as it allowed him to become an animator in the first place. Plus, such versatile assets allowed him and other animators to experiment a lot. And that's what made Skibidi Toilet series too unique as well. Okay, so you guys can ask me now, but was it really Boom who threw DMCA at Garry Newman? And to that I'll tell you, of course it wasn't him. Bruh. And it was pretty obvious to me since the very first time I ever laid my eyes upon this news title. Boom already had to deal with a lot of DMCA-related problems in the past that were caused by his copycats, so he would avoid it like a plague now, especially when he's so big that even big Hollywood fries would contact him. And Boom was quick enough to dethrone all these stupid rumors himself as he posted a lengthy message in his official Discord channel where he wrote that he was completely unaware about this whole DMCA satiation with Garry Newman, and he was just busy animating the new episode when he heard about all these rumors. Boom also wrote that the message Garry showed has nothing to do with the current events, but it was something that occurred back at the end of 2023 and it was taken out of context. Then Boom explains how he's a huge fan of Garry's mode, and it was the game he stuck to ever since he had his own PC. He loves it dearly, and he basically grew up with it. He also acknowledges that the Vlave and G-Mode creator gave lots of freedom and accessibility to the game's fans, and he's forever grateful for it. But Boom also mentions that such generosity from the Vlave gets abused hell a lot by the shady people which content Boom doesn't support or encourage. And he provides several examples of that in 4 spoilers attached to this message, which are basically not kids-appropriate content, if you know what I mean by this. Boom then states that content like this was basically a plague for 2023 YouTube, and it was a huge issue. And Boom, together with his team, tried to remove such content, but YouTube report system was simply broken and didn't fulfill its main functions, so heinous content like this is still present on the platform, and it's still available for children. So Boom states that he loves his characters, and he doesn't want them to be exploited in such a terrible way, and he still tries to ensure that such content won't be associated with Skibidi Toilet, and it won't get recommended to kids. And I respect Boom a lot for standing his ground. And regarding the letter that was posted by Garry, Boom claims that it didn't come from him or Invis. Boom doesn't know where exactly this letter came from, but it is possible that it was sent after one member of Boom's team reached out at the end of 2023 with concerns that Skibidi characters were being animated and monetized in hurtful ways. But it was never intended to take down Garry's mode. So that's how this whole mess was originally formed. And it's important to note once again how grateful Boom is towards the Valve and Garry's mode in specific, and he'd never turn against them because Skibidi Toilet simply wouldn't exist without these 2 factors. And by the way, I think that the rumors about the Skibidi movie, which is about to get directed by Michael Bay, can be directly connected to this crazy news. Because now Skibidi Toilet series seems to get a new wave of hype, which is even bigger than before. And everyone and their mother starts knowing even more about it. And this whole DMCA thing that was applied by a completely different person, by the way, seems to be an attempt to throw shade at Boom and his series in order to bring his reputation down. Or there is an even crazier assumption by me that still can be very much true, because that's what a lot of big corporations do to build up even more hype about the release of some movie or music album. It is possible that these ridiculous DMCA rumors could be just a PR stunt in order to raise even more attention to Skibidi Toilets, so that even more people would check it up and become interested in it, as well as in the upcoming movie. And what do you guys think about all of this? Do you agree that it was just a PR move or that someone tried to throw shade at Boom? Be sure to write your own comments under this video because I would really like to know your opinion about it. Okay, but while we were so busy discussing this whole DMCA thing, we almost forgot about the recent leaks that Boom posted about the upcoming first part of episode 77. And there are 2 leaks that seem to occur in the same location. And I must tell you that it looks really similar to the environment of episode 47. Just compare it by yourselves. The only thing which has changed is the lighting, as in the leaks it seems to be darker and partly hidden in the red clouds. And there is also an Astro Obliterator who is present in the first leak with one of his eyes glowing in bright yellow, and he's also smiling pretty creepily at us. But what's the most important thing about these leaks is how in the second picture we can see the sign that reads as, "We ain't here hurt nobody." And those are exactly the same lines from the Skibidi song we heard in the early episodes. Could this mean that Boom will show us the Skibidi toilets at their best after so many damn episodes? We may be closer than ever to figuring out the secret of Skibidi toilets, who knows? And under this sign there's also letters 77.1. And of course it refers to the first part of episode 77. And I believe it is possible that in the first part of this episode we will finally see G-Man or some of the Titans. And if you watched my video with predictions regarding episode 77, then you know how I am also expecting the plot line of Titan Cameraman to be expended more. So it is possible that we'll learn more about what happened to him as well. And that was all for today. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, then hit the like button below and also be sure to write a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube and Discord channels not to miss my new interesting videos. And that was me, ISOTOILET. See ya!